Hey, I'm back. I've had a little break from uploading this weekend just because I've had a little bit of a rough week. I have not been very well and I just thought I just needed a little bit of downtime. And to be honest, I had not a great deal to report other than me just being like the usual poorly sick, and I just thought you guys surely are sick of hearing that. It's really negative and I just didn't really want to bring that to the table, because the last thing you need if you're following this along and you're on a weight loss journey yourself is a ton of videos of me going, nah, I feel poorly, nah, everything's wrong. So for me, it is Sunday, and actually, I've not had a bad night's sleep. Well, I say that, but let me just catch you up on where I've been to. I just woke up, Oliver's left the house. I'm going to get washed and dressed in a bit. I can't say I'm going to be majorly active because I'm a little bit, I'm going to say hungover, but I'm actually not. So on Thursday and Friday, I ended up with an horrendous sickness diarrhea bug, and I know that's a little bit of an overshare, but it was horrendous to a point before 1 o'clock I couldn't leave the house. I needed to be near my toilet. That is how bad it were. I slept loads and just recouped, and to be honest, on Saturday, because I'd been that poorly, Friday, I didn't really eat a great deal. And then on Saturday, I just packed in. I was like, water only, this has got to be flushed out. I can't keep being poorly. Do you know me? I'm more sick than anybody at hearing how poorly I have been. And I just thought there's something going wrong. Maybe that's why I've not been very well all last week. It's been brewing. I'm totally not sure where I'm at, but I was horrendous, the most horrendous stomach cramps. I was so lethargic. I just was not good. So I'm lying, it was Friday. I didn't eat anything all day and just drank. So then Saturday morning I woke up and Oliver was working. Lily's going away next week to Krakow. So I thought, I'm feeling like I can actually move. I feel like a little bit more alive. I'm going to have something to eat because for Christmas, my friend bought me a bottomless brunch voucher, and that was this Saturday. Can't tell you a lie about it. I've kind of been dreading it. I think I've got in my own head about going out. I previously have massively avoided social situations. It's made me feel really awkward. I hate getting dressed up. I always think I look awful. It just makes me really self-conscious. And the concept of going out for a bottomless brunch and going out in Sheffield filled me with sheer dread. Put on top of that I've had a week where I've just not been very well and felt really mardy and thought, oh my God, this is horrendous. So it always makes me feel better when I get the house clean and tidied. So I woke up Saturday morning, I did a shit ton of washing and cleaned the house from top to bottom. I was going a little bit lightheaded. I had a couple of slices of toast and managed to keep those down, and drank loads of water to try and rehydrate myself, because I do think my body is quite dehydrated. It still is. But yeah, all was well. I went in the bath, shaved all my legs and things. I didn't even paint my nails. And then it dawned on me, I'm going out on Saturday and I have got nothing to wear. So because I didn't feel very well. I've got some dresses and stuff, but they're quite summery. And it was freezing on Saturday, and it was raining. There was forecast snow. And I just thought, I'm not doing it to myself. Do you know, at 40, I am not going out and dressing in no clothes. I just don't want to. It's too cold. So off I trundled to Meadowhall and just wanted a cheap and easy outfit. I ended up going to Primark and I bought myself a long sleeve jumper dress. Now, I bought one in cream and one in dark grey because I didn't know which one to wear. So they were only £15 each. I bought them in a size large, which I tried on and they fitted me. I actually ended up going to the woman. There were a woman with a daughter trying clothes on. I was like, can I go out in this? I showed her, which I would never usually do. So in terms of a non-scale victory, my confidence don't get me wrong, I did have to breathe a bit before I opened the curtain and asked a total random stranger if I could wear this dress out and that I was 40 and it's freezing. But I did actually get the guts to do that. And she was like, yeah, love, you look lovely. You can do that. So I'm quite proud of myself where that's concerned. The other like victory that I kind of achieved is, if you followed this channel along, you will know I hate, and I mean hate, my legs. My legs are so fat, swollen, and disgusting. I'm going to say they're the worst part of my body, but I've probably got other areas that are worse. Well, probably equally as bad. But for me, my legs are a massive, massive issue, and I hate getting them out. Well, the jumper dress that I brought, it wasn't really short, but it was above my knee, like halfway down my thigh. And I thought, do you know what? If we're going to go out, we're going to make it worth it, and we're going to overcome a little bit of an issue here. So I bought these 2 dresses and then filled myself with anxiety on the way home. I met up with Oliver at a local pub, and because I'd not had anything else to eat and I knew that I'd be drinking because we're going to a bottomless brunch, went to a little pub and just had a veggie burger and some chips, and thought, well, at least I've lined my stomach. I don't think there were any saving me, but I mean, at least I'd had something to eat. So I got myself ready and I ended up wearing, it's like a cream, like an oatmeal kind of colour cream, long sleeved jumper dress with, I put a pair of skin coloured tights underneath to try and stop the loose skin wobbling around, just to give myself a bit of definition. And then on top of that, I wore a pair of mock garter tights. And then I was going to wear some wedges, but they've got like a string wedge and they didn't match the tights that I'd picked. So then I ended up wearing just some ankle boots, which have just got a little heel. They were fine to walk in and they were fine. I bought myself loads of like flash trash. So I call it flash trash, but it's like cheap jewellery, like throwaway jewellery from the Rita Ora collection in Primark. And I only paid like a couple of pounds per item. So I bought myself a bunch of different rings that were like black and gold, because I was wearing black and cream. And came home, did my hair, and my friend came round and we ended up going out. So we went to Manhattan. I don't know where I went, but I went there for a bottomless brunch. And that's where it went all downhill. We drank absolutely tons in 2 hours. Binge drinking, understatement of the year. I was absolutely sloshed. I don't know whether it was with the amount of alcohol we drank or because I just calmed down into the situation, but I ended up having actually a really, really good night. The place we went, the food were lovely. I ordered a vegetarian, what are they called? Hot dog sausage, which I didn't eat the bread, I just ate the sausage because I'd already just had burger and I weren't really that hungry. Me and Rachel shared a few chips off of my plate, but the food were really nice. The staff were amazing. I even tried a Bloody Mary. They are disgusting. I cannot drink those, but I tried it. We drank loads of Prosecco, loads of Aperol Spritz and things like that. Yeah, really good night. I mean, by the time that we left there, I was slightly worse for wear. But yeah, we had a good night, a good girly catch up. We chatted and laughed absolutely loads, had a few heart-to-hearts like you do when you're really drunk. And yeah, me and my black sheep Rachel had a really good night there. It were lovely. We then went to bar 1 where this guy just followed us round, this older guy. I'm saying older guy, like I'm old, so he maybe were my age. But he was a little bit off the cuff, but I'm not a rude person. So we ended up then following us to another bar, walkabout, where we danced. We had a really nice night. We had a good laugh. I ended up with some flowers around my neck. I don't know where they came from. I didn't buy a penny. I actually had loads of drinks bought for me. Not that I needed them. I just talk to anybody when I'm not drunk. So can you imagine the amount of people that I talk to when I'm drunk? I don't know how that all ended up. On a plus note, I mean, Oliver dropped me off and he picked me up, which I think is really nice. And he didn't moan as much and he was quite good about it. And I think that's actually really nice. And he said that I looked hot. But while I was out, which this sounds like I'm saying this on this because it's really weird for me. I went out with my legs out, which was a bit of an issue for me, and I felt really awful about it to start off with. But while I was out, I actually got some male attention. Like, some people actually were interested, and not even in like a really pushy, sleazy, awful way. They were actually just really nice and kind, and like a couple of guys came up to me and tried to speak to me and were making conversation, and I was just chatting away, and they were like, "You do know you're really beautiful." It took me off, even drunk, it made me really embarrassed, and I found it really hard, but then in a way, like, it's kind of nice, isn't it? Because I've never really, like, I don't really get male attention that much. So it were, and not that I went out to get male attention. Like, I'm not really that, well, I'm 100% not that way out. And obviously I'm with Oliver. I'm not interested, but it was quite nice for somebody to say that I was really beautiful. A main compliment that I do seem to get now when I'm out is that, like, I'm a proper lady, and that I'm really beautiful inside and out, and that, like, the people are drawn to me. And now I don't know whether that's just smooth talking and I'm trying to soft serve me because I think I'm drunk and easy, but isn't that nice? Like, so I keep, like, while I was out, I heard a lot of guys, like, coming on to women and trying to chat them up, and they were really, like, brazen and just not what I'm about. Like, I don't want somebody being overtly sexual with me. I find it quite off-putting, and I prefer a gentleman to act like a gentleman. I'm not really into this chavvy, brazen chat that seems to be happening amongst the people nowadays. I don't know a really nice, polite way to put that. I tried really hard, you can tell, can't you? But, like, while I was out, like, people were, like, gentlemen were approaching me and just being really kind and nice. There was a guy with a beard that I did see him looking at me. When I was dancing with Rachel, I saw him looking at me, and it made me feel a bit paranoid, like a bit uncomfortable, because, like, I'm quite self-conscious and I don't think I'm very attractive, and especially I think because I got my legs out, it made me feel really, really a bit uncomfortable and a bit like, oh God, he's looking at me. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? But later on in the night, I lost Rachel for a few minutes. I think she went to the toilet with a girl that we'd made friends with. And while I was looking for her, I sat down on a bench to text her to say, like, where are you? Like, I've lost you, where are you? And this guy with this beard came up to me and were like saying, oh, are you single? And I just said, no, I'm not. That actually didn't seem to bother him. And he said, you're not going to believe this, he actually said, like, your legs look lovely in those tights. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody's actually saying something about my legs. So I had this little bit of a panic attack because I absolutely hate my legs. But he actually said that my legs look nice in the tights. So I think, do you know what? Win, non-scale win there. I have not only dared to go out with my legs out, but somebody's actually complimenting my legs. Guys, stop. My dog's just gone mad at anything. So overall, I think that was quite a lovely night. He did ask for my number and things like that. Obviously, I didn't give it to him. I'm not really interested. Even if I was single, I'm not really that interested in picking people up like that. I'm like more an intellectual. Stop! They didn't listen. I'm more like a intellectual dater. I like somebody with a beautiful mind, and I'm just not into picking people up. Mabel, please stop. Oh God, I can never make a video in peace, can I? Oliver's off today, so that's why I'm quickly making my video now, because I hate recording in front of him. But yeah, I went out with my legs out, and then somebody actually complimented my legs, and he tried to give me his number, and I think that's like all a compliment. Yeah, it feels a bit weird telling you all that, because then that sounds like you're bursting a bit, doesn't it? And I'm not really that way out, but for me, it's quite unfamiliar. I don't really have people telling me that I'm pretty, and like, I don't think I am. So yeah, it was a nice night. We ended the night by leaving there. We were going to go to another bar. We went out at 7:30 at night, and by 12:15, I rang Oliver to come and pick me up, because I was like, it was rainy, we were drunk, and I'd had enough. Got home, And like, this is now praising Oliver, and I never usually do this. So you ready for an overshare? So I came home, we dropped Rachel off. I mean, she was in the house and the door was locked. Got into bed and I was like, Oliver, I'm going to be sick. I need a bucket. So first he helped me get undressed because I was absolutely paralytic. The alcohol had completely and utterly hit me and I knew it was time. I was like, so done. That's why I came home early. He helped part of me getting undressed. I could tell he was annoyed with me because I was being annoying, but I couldn't stop being annoying because I was that drunk. Put me into bed and he brought me one of his small gorilla tubs that he has for work. And I spent probably the best part of my first hour and a half in bed just vomiting. Now, even really drunk, I was a clean vomiter and I didn't get it anywhere. Once I've been sick, I eventually fell asleep and I just slept the whole night. I didn't wake the next morning till 10:30. And I think I was still a little bit tipsy, but was a lot better. I didn't feel sick. I wasn't poorly anymore. The alcohol maybe cleansed that out of my system. I felt absolutely amazing since I woke up on Sunday morning. Poor little Oliver then had to empty my sick bucket. Like, how embarrassing is that? Oh, it was horrible. It was awful. But give him his dues. He has 1 brownie points where that's concerned because that is a biggie. That's like, I think that's a really nice thing to do. So then today we've not done a great deal. We've been to the shops and bought a few bits. I've got, has anybody ever tried one of these? This was called a custard apple and cost me £1.49. It's from Sprouts, which is a supermarket that does foods from all over the world. And me and Oliver are going to try this. I'm not sure how to eat it, so I think I'm going to Google that. But this is called a custard apple. And I like trying different stuff from different places. And if it's there, then I'm going to try it. So this is what we are going to try. I also bought some casserole and soup mix from the Aldi, 3 bags. And I've popped it in the slow cooker with, all I've done is chucked in some boiling water. I have done no prep. Honestly, it's terrible. I just throw it all in. A load of mixed vegetables in the slow cooker with some vegetable stock, and I'm making myself, I don't know whether to make it into a soup or leave it as a stew, or maybe eat it as a stew now with some lentils because I've shoved some lentils in, and eat it like chunky now, and then I'll just blitz it and make it into a soup and a vegetable soup for work this week. Not sure. Oliver's made himself a curry, which I won't eat because he just throws a shed ton of oil in it. I do feel like I've probably had my sins or calories for the year in alcohol on this night out. So I'm going to try and rein it into less calorie dense food. So that's where the casseroles come into place. And I'm trying to now protect myself from putting weight on Thursday. Now that in itself is another victory because I've had a night out and I've come back, and the very next day, Sunday, I am in the frame of mind of, back on it, Leanne, back on it. You've had a night off and that's okay, but just make sure it's a night. So yeah, overall, I've had a really nice weekend. Can I just say, I am absolutely, like, if you were one of the people that's messaged me and asked to see if I'm okay over the weekend because I've not uploaded and that you're missing me, that genuinely, like, touched me and made me feel really loved and genuinely supported and like cared for, and I really appreciate that. That was really sweet of you guys, and I really, really, really appreciate that. So if you're one of those people, I'm sending you a huge hug, and I'm just saying thank you so much for the messages because they do actually help me. And I suppose those messages are what has made it easier for me to go, right, now I've had Saturday off. Now I need to get back on track because you keep me focused, and I appreciate that, and that is priceless. So thank you. I hope you guys have had a brilliant weekend. I'm not going to keep babbling on. I hope you've enjoyed the update about my weekend and what I got up to, and I will be back shortly, hopefully with a successful vlog of weight loss again soon. Think then.